Stop everything. Do not scroll. Do not delay. Do not doubt why you are here. I am the Lord your God, and I interrupted your routine today because something was signed in the spiritual realm with your name on it. This is not motivation. This is not coincidence. This is not another message among many. This is a divine interruption. I have watched your silent prayers. I have counted the nights you stared at the ceiling wondering how you would survive another month. I have heard the words you never said out loud because you were afraid to sound weak. You thought I was quiet, but I was working. Today, a decree was released. Today, an authorization was granted. Today, a financial shift began moving toward you, and hell is nervous because you are about to find out. The enemy tried to exhaust you so you would quit one step before the breakthrough. But I brought you here because you will not miss what is yours. Listen carefully. What I am about to reveal will not only change how you see money, it will change how you see me. Stay with me, because what was signed today cannot be reversed. The urgent warning from heaven. I need you to understand this before anything else. This moment is critical. There are times when I whisper, and there are times when I interrupt. Today, I interrupted, because something was activated in the spiritual realm that required your attention immediately. You have been standing at the edge of a financial turning point longer than you realize, not because you were unworthy, but because timing matters in the kingdom. The enemy saw what was coming. He studied your patterns, he observed your fatigue, and he launched distraction, discouragement, and delay to pull you away right now. That is why you almost didn't watch this. That is why something tried to rush you. That is why doubt whispered, "This is probably not for you." But I overruled it. Hear me clearly. If you had delayed this message, you would have delayed the manifestation. Because heaven moves when my children discern the moment. There are contracts in the spirit. There are permissions, assignments, and releases. And today, I signed one concerning your finances. Not tomorrow, not one day. Today, you have cried out asking why doors kept closing, even when you did everything right. Why money slipped through your hands no matter how hard you worked. Why others advanced while you stayed stuck. What you didn't see was the resistance behind the scenes. But now the resistance has been confronted. I issued a warning to the forces that opposed you. I revoked permissions that were never meant to last this long. And I released acceleration where there was delay. That is why I am speaking urgently. Because once heaven moves, alignment matters. Do not minimize this moment. Do not analyze it away. Do not let fear talk you out of faith. This is not hype. This is timing. And timing is everything. I am not just about to bless you, I am about to vindicate you. What looked like failure was protection. What felt like denial was preparation. What you called delay was alignment. And now, alignment is complete. If your heart is beating faster right now, if something inside you feels alert, awakened, and serious, that is my spirit confirming. This warning is for you. Do not leave this message. Do not grow passive. Stay present. Because in the next chapter, I will reveal why you are watching this at this exact moment, and what would have happened if you weren't. Write Amen in the comments if you receive this warning and choose not to miss your moment. Stay with me. The shift has already begun. Why you are watching this right now. Listen to me carefully. You did not arrive here by accident. You were summoned. Out of millions of voices, countless distractions, and endless noise, this message found you because your spirit was ready to receive it. I aligned time, emotion, and circumstance so that your heart would be open at this exact moment. You think you clicked, but I called. There is a narrow window in the spirit when transformation becomes possible without resistance. You are inside that window right now. That is why this feels different. That is why your mind is quiet. That is why something in you knows this is not random. I have been preparing you for days, even weeks, without you realizing it. Conversations you overheard, thoughts that wouldn't leave you, a restlessness pushing you to search for more. None of that was coincidence. I was positioning you because before I release a visible miracle, I always deliver keys. And keys require recognition. Many pray for change but ignore instruction. Many want blessing but reject preparation. You are here because you did not reject it. And hear me. Those who receive keys unlock doors faster than those who only ask. That is why I am guiding you now. I have placed something in your path, quietly, gently, not as a transaction, but as a gift of alignment. A set of prophetic keys designed to shift your life in days, not years. Keys that help you see, think, and move differently so you don't miss what I'm already releasing. I did not hide it from you. I placed it within reach. When I want to accelerate my children, I don't overwhelm them. I equip them. That is why I want you to do something simple without hesitation, without fear, without overthinking. After this message, go to the first pinned comment. There you will find a gift prepared for this season of your life. Receive it with humility. Receive it with expectation. Do not say, "I'll do it later." Later is the language of delay. Do it now. Because obedience in small moments unlocks large doors. This gift carries 7 prophetic keys, not theories, not opinions, but spiritual alignments that activate transformation quickly when practiced with faith. You don't need to understand everything yet. You only need to receive. I would not place this before you if it were not connected to what I am about to do financially, emotionally, and spiritually in your life. Remember, I never release provision without first releasing understanding. Take the gift, honor the moment, and prepare yourself, because what is coming next will require clarity, courage, and faith. Write "I receive" in the comments if you are ready to accept what I have prepared for you. Stay with me. In the next chapter, I will reveal why the season of scarcity is ending now, and why it could not end before this moment. The season of scarcity is ending now. Listen to me with your spirit, not just your ears. I know how long this season has lasted. I know how heavy it became. I know how many times you smiled on the outside while calculating survival on the inside. You asked me, "Why does it feel like I'm always catching up?" You wondered, "Why does money come in but never stays?" You questioned, "Why do I work so hard and still feel behind?" And I tell you now with authority and truth, this season was not punishment, it was preparation. Scarcity was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to shape you. There are blessings that cannot be trusted to an unprepared mind. There are increases that require a transformed perspective. There are financial doors that only open when the soul is aligned. That is why this season could not end earlier. You thought it was about money, but it was about mastery, mastery over fear, mastery over impulse, mastery over the belief that you were limited. I allowed lack to expose patterns. I allowed delay to refine discipline. I allowed pressure to teach you how to hear my voice above anxiety. And now, listen carefully. The lesson is complete. Heaven does not repeat tests once the wisdom is formed. What you are feeling right now, this sense of seriousness, expectation, alertness, is not emotional. It is transition. I am closing a chapter that drained you. I am ending cycles where effort produced frustration. I am shifting you from survival into stewardship. That is why provision is approaching differently this time. Before, money came as relief. Now, it will come as assignment. I am not just increasing what you have, I am increasing what you can handle. Because increase without understanding becomes loss. But increase with wisdom becomes legacy. That is why I am emphasizing keys. Keys change access. Keys change speed. Keys change outcomes. And I do not want you entering this new season repeating old mistakes. That is why, again, I placed something before you. Not randomly, not aggressively, but intentionally. There is a gift waiting for you that contains 7 prophetic keys designed for this exact transition. 7 days, 7 alignments, 7 shifts that help your spirit, mind, and actions come into agreement with what I am releasing. This is not about information. This is about activation. When my people move with keys instead of confusion, progress accelerates. I want you to understand something important. Your breakthrough is not fragile, but your focus must be protected. That is why I am guiding you step by step. Do not rush. Do not compare. Do not announce what I am doing to people who cannot discern it. Receive quietly. Move intentionally. Align daily. And yes, go to the first pinned comment and receive the gift prepared for you. Do not question whether you deserve it. If you are here, you were qualified by obedience, not perfection. This gift will help you recognize patterns that kept repeating. It will help you align your decisions with heaven instead of pressure. It will help you move through the next 7 days with clarity instead of confusion. I am not asking you to do everything at once. I am asking you to do the next right thing. And the next right thing is to receive what equips you. Understand this. When scarcity ends, responsibility begins. I am not just blessing you to enjoy. I am blessing you to manage, multiply, and testify. Others will ask how it changed so fast. They will say, it happened suddenly, but you will know the truth. It happened when you listened. It happened when you aligned. It happened when you took the keys seriously. This is not the end of struggle. This is the end of stagnation. You are entering movement. You are entering flow. You are entering provision with purpose. Do not fear what is coming. I am already there. And remember, what I sign in the Spirit manifests in the natural, not always loudly, but inevitably. Right, the season has changed in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift, and stay with me. In the next chapter, I will reveal what was signed in the spiritual realm today, and why it has your name on it. What was signed in the spiritual realm today, and why it has your name on it. Be still, quiet your thoughts, and listen with reverence, because what I am about to reveal is not symbolic, it is decisive. Today, in the unseen realm, a decree was signed. Not debated, not postponed, signed. And it carries your name because you endured what others abandoned. You assumed nothing was happening because you saw no movement. But silence does not mean absence, it means authority at work. There are moments when heaven moves loudly, and there are moments when heaven moves legally. Today was legal. I addressed what was standing against you. Not emotionally, not vaguely, but precisely. I confronted permissions that expired, but were never enforced. I corrected delays that were no longer justified. I authorized access where restraint had lingered too long. This was not random favor. This was alignment meeting opportunity. You may ask, why now? Because now you are different. Not louder, not more visible, but more rooted. You learned how to wait without walking away. You learned how to hope without demanding control. You learned how to trust me even when the numbers didn't make sense. That growth mattered. I do not release responsibility to instability. I do not pour increase into confusion. I do not assign stewardship to impatience. You passed what you thought was a delay, but was actually an evaluation. So today, I signed 3 things concerning you. First, closure. Cycles that drained you financially are being concluded, not gradually, decisively. Some obligations will dissolve unexpectedly. Some pressures will lift without explanation. You will notice space where there used to be strain. Second, authorization. Access to provision that was previously blocked is opening. Not because you forced it, but because the timing matured. Doors will open through people, systems, or ideas you did not expect. And that is intentional. I do not want you relying on old logic. Third, acceleration. What once took months will compress into weeks. What took weeks will compress into days. Momentum is being restored, but it will feel calm, not chaotic. When acceleration is divine, it carries peace. This is why I told you to stop everything. Moments like this are missed by those who rush past confirmation. Now listen carefully, because this matters. When something is signed in the spirit, alignment in the natural becomes essential. You don't chase what I release, you prepare to receive it. That is why I am emphasizing keys again. Keys help you recognize doors. Keys help you walk through calmly instead of anxiously. Keys help you steward what arrives so it remains. I have placed a gift before you, discreetly, intentionally, to help you move wisely through the next 7 days. 7 prophetic keys designed to align your thinking, your decisions, and your posture with what has been authorized. This is not about doing more. It is about doing differently. If you keep the same mindset in a new season, you will mismanage opportunity. But if you adjust your posture, you will multiply it. That is why I want you to receive the gift waiting in the first pinned comment. Do not treat it casually. Do not skim it distractedly. Approach it as instruction for transition. Each key is simple, but simplicity does not mean weakness. I use simple things to produce lasting results. In 7 days, clarity will sharpen. Patterns will become obvious. Confidence will replace hesitation, not because everything changes externally, but because you change internally. And when that happens, money no longer controls you. You control direction. I am not blessing you to impress others. I am blessing you to establish stability. There will be people who don't understand the shift. They will say, "You're different." They will notice calm where there used to be stress. Do not explain everything. Let fruit speak. One more thing you must hear. What I signed today cannot be canceled by fear, but fear can delay enjoyment. So guard your thoughts, guard your speech, guard your focus. Do not rehearse old narratives. Do not agree with lack out of habit. Do not downplay what I am doing to stay comfortable. You are not who you were last season, and this next phase will require intentional faith, not passive hope. That is why I am walking with you through this message, step by step, chapter by chapter. You are not behind. You are on time. And what is unfolding will make sense very soon. Write "It is signed" in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift prepared for you, and stay aligned. In the next chapter, I will reveal how the enemy tried to block this, and why his plan failed completely. The enemy tried to block it, but failed completely. Listen closely, because understanding this will protect what is now unfolding. You were not delayed because you were weak. You were resisted because you were chosen. There are assignments attached to your life that extend beyond comfort. There are outcomes connected to your obedience that threaten systems built on fear, lack, and control. That is why opposition intensified when you were closest to change. The enemy did not attack randomly. He attacked strategically. He studied your patience. He watched your endurance. He waited for moments when you were tired, overwhelmed, and questioning yourself. And then he tried 3 specific tactics. First, confusion. He tried to flood your mind with too many options and too much noise, hoping you would freeze instead of move. He wanted you uncertain, second-guessing, constantly asking others for permission to trust what I already told you. Second, discouragement. He whispered that nothing was changing, that your prayers were ineffective, that others were advancing while you remained stuck. He tried to convince you that faith was naive and waiting was foolish. Third, distraction. He attempted to pull your attention toward urgency without purpose. Busy days, emotional exhaustion, unnecessary battles, anything to keep you from recognizing timing. But here is what he did not account for. You kept showing up. Even when tired, you didn't quit. Even when confused, you still listened. Even when discouraged, something in you refused to fully let go. That persistence mattered. He tried to delay you long enough for you to abandon hope, but hope stayed. He tried to wear you down, but endurance grew. He tried to make you doubt me, but trust deepened. And when the enemy realized you would not quit, he lost leverage. Because resistance only works when agreement exists. Today, I revoked that agreement. I toggle off permissions that were feeding cycles of frustration. I cut off assignments that depended on your fear. I silenced voices that were never authorized to shape your future. That is why things will begin to feel lighter, even before they look different. Opposition does not disappear quietly. It collapses when exposed. You may notice sudden clarity where there was fog, unexpected peace where anxiety lived, New ideas rising without force. That is not coincidence. That is release. Now hear me carefully, because this next part is crucial. When resistance ends, responsibility increases. The enemy will no longer try to stop you through pressure. He will try to distract you through comfort. That is why alignment must remain intentional. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be aware. Awareness protects momentum. That is why I continue to place tools in your path, not to overwhelm you, but to anchor you. The gift waiting for you contains 7 prophetic keys, each designed to help you navigate this new space with wisdom instead of impulse. These keys are not loud. They are practical. They are clear. And when practiced daily, they recalibrate your decisions quickly. This is how you avoid repeating cycles. Because cycles don't repeat due to bad luck. They repeat due to unexamined patterns. And patterns change when keys are applied. I want you to approach the next 7 days differently. Not anxiously, not aggressively, but intentionally. That is why I want you to go to the first pinned comment and receive the gift prepared for this moment. It was placed there to meet you right now, not later. Do not rush through it. Do not multitask while receiving it. Treat it as guidance for transition. Each day matters. Each decision matters. Each key aligns something internally so that what is released externally can be sustained. I am not delivering you from lack just to bring you back through misalignment. You are being upgraded, not just financially, but mentally and spiritually. And upgrades require new operating systems. Let me remind you of something important. The enemy failed not because he was weak, but because you stayed aligned long enough for me to intervene. That matters. You are not late, you are not behind, you are not catching up. You are entering, and what you are entering will require calm confidence, not frantic effort. So breathe. What tried to block you is now behind you. What tried to exhaust you no longer has access. What tried to discourage you has lost authority. Do not look back to confirm what I already closed. Look forward with steadiness. And remember, what I begin, I sustain. Write, "The enemy failed" in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift, and stay focused. In the next chapter, I will show you the proof you need to stop doubting and start expecting movement. The proof you need to stop doubting and start expecting. Listen to me carefully. Doubt has been the last chain trying to hold you, not because you lack faith, but because you have been disappointed before. You learned to protect your heart by lowering expectation. You told yourself, "I'll believe it when I see it." You said, "I don't want to get my hopes up again," and I understand why. But hear me now. Protection through doubt blocks reception. Faith does not deny reality. It prepares for movement. The proof you are asking for is not coming the way you expect, because if I showed you everything at once, you would try to control it, and what I am releasing cannot be managed by anxiety. So I give proof in layers, subtle confirmations, unusual peace, aligned timing, repeated themes, a message that keeps finding you. This message is part of the proof. You are not still here by accident. Something in you recognizes truth even when the mind hesitates. Let me show you how proof works in the kingdom. Before visible change, I always give internal confirmation. Before external provision, I always release clarity. Before money moves, thinking shifts. That is why your perspective has been changing lately. You started noticing patterns you ignored before. You began questioning habits that once felt normal. You felt a quiet urgency to realign, not out of fear, but out of readiness. That is proof. You don't feel desperate like before. You feel focused. Desperation demands miracles. Focus prepares for stewardship, and stewardship attracts increase. Another proof is this. You are no longer comfortable with stagnation. You don't just want relief. You want order. You want consistency. You want sustainability. You want peace that lasts longer than a moment. That desire did not come from pressure. It came from growth. And growth is evidence that the season has shifted. Let me tell you something important. When I am about to move financially in someone's life, I first adjust their tolerance. I increase their patience. I deepen their discernment. I slow their impulsiveness. I strengthen their discipline. Otherwise, increase becomes overwhelming instead of empowering. That is why this process has been quiet. No hype, no chaos, no rush, just steady alignment. Another proof you need to recognize is resistance changing shape. Before, resistance was loud, stress, lack, frustration. Now resistance tries to sound reasonable. Maybe later. You can do that another time. Don't take this too seriously. That is not wisdom. That is delay dressed as logic. When opportunity approaches, distraction becomes subtle. That is why I am asking you to move now. Not urgently, but decisively. The gift placed in the first pinned comment is not random content. It is structured alignment. 7 prophetic keys. 7 days. 1 intentional shift per day. This is how you build momentum without pressure. Each key addresses a specific internal pattern that affects external flow. Not theory, alignment, not emotion, instruction. I designed it this way because consistency beats intensity. You don't need a dramatic moment. You need daily calibration. And here is another proof you may have missed. You are no longer alone in this process. Before, you carried everything internally. Now guidance is appearing. Direction is forming. Language is becoming clearer. Isolation is breaking. That matters. Because isolation amplifies doubt, but alignment amplifies confidence. You don't need 10 signs. You need obedience to the one you already received. And the sign you received was this message finding you at the right moment. Let me ask you something, and answer honestly within yourself. If nothing were changing, why would your spirit feel alert right now? If this were meaningless, why would it stir clarity instead of confusion? If this were not aligned, why would it keep resonating instead of fading? That is proof. Proof does not always shout. Sometimes it settles. It settles into certainty. It settles into calm expectation. It settles into readiness. And readiness is the doorway. That is why I keep inviting you, gently, consistently, to receive the gift prepared for you. Go to the first pinned comment. Click it without overthinking. Receive it without skepticism. Not because it's magical, but because it is timely. You are entering a phase where small adjustments produce noticeable results. That is how momentum starts. 1 aligned thought, 1 corrected habit, 1 intentional day. 7 days can change more than 7 years of confusion when alignment replaces resistance. I am not rushing you. I am positioning you. And I will not force what must be chosen. But understand this, doubt will not protect you anymore. It has already done all it can. Now it is time for expectation, calm, grounded, and steady. Expectation is not pressure. Expectation is posture. And your posture is shifting. What you are about to see will not shock you. It will confirm what you already sensed. That is how divine movement works. You don't jump into it. You recognize it. So recognize this moment. Recognize the invitation. Recognize the alignment. Recognize the timing. Write, "I am expecting," in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift, and stay aligned. In the next chapter, I will reveal the key that activates the unexpected source of provision, the one you are not looking at. The key that activates the unexpected source of provision. Listen with discernment, because this is where many miss what I am doing. You have been looking in the right direction, but not at the right source. And that is not a rebuke. It is a revelation. Most of my children expect provision to arrive through familiar paths. The same skills, the same people, the same systems, the same logic. But I tell you now, what I am releasing to you will not come the way it came before. If it did, it would limit the testimony. I am about to surprise you, not to confuse you, but to expand you. The key that activates unexpected provision is this: flexible obedience, not partial obedience, not delayed obedience. not obedience that requires full understanding first. Flexible obedience is the willingness to move when direction shifts, even slightly. Here is why this matters. You have prayed for increase while holding tightly to a single picture of how it must happen. You said, "If God blesses me, it will look like this." You assumed the door would open where you kept knocking. But hear me clearly. Sometimes the door does not open because I am building another entrance. The unexpected source is not inferior. It is strategic. It may come through a conversation you didn't plan to have, an idea that interrupts your routine, an opportunity that doesn't look big at first, a responsibility that feels small but carries growth. Many miss miracles because they dismiss beginnings. I do not always send provision fully formed. I often send it as seed. And seed requires recognition. This is why mindset matters more than location. Two people can stand in the same place. One sees inconvenience, the other sees opportunity. The difference is not intelligence, it is alignment. I am not just changing your finances, I am changing your vision. Because vision determines what you accept and what you reject. Now listen carefully. The unexpected source will test three things in you. 1. Humility, because it may not flatter your ego. 2. Consistency, because it may require repetition before reward. 3. Focus me, because distraction will try to pull you away early. This is where many stop too soon. They say, "This isn't it." They say, "It's too small." They say, "This doesn't match what I imagined." And they walk away from what was growing. Do not repeat that pattern. This time I am asking you to observe before judging. Watch how peace accompanies certain options. Notice where clarity increases instead of pressure. Pay attention to what energizes you without draining you. These are indicators. Provision does not always announce itself as money. Sometimes it announces itself as direction. Direction precedes income. Alignment precedes overflow. That is why I am not rushing the manifestation. I am building stability. Let me reveal something to you. The unexpected source will connect to something you already carry, but have not valued properly. A skill you overlooked, an insight you minimized, an ability you thought was ordinary. You thought everyone could do it. You thought it wasn't special, but I never waste gifts. What you dismissed was training. What you endured was development. And now I am redirecting it. This is why comparison has been dangerous for you. You looked at others and assumed you were behind. But your path was different because your assignment is different. I was not preparing you to copy. I was preparing you to create. And creation often begins quietly. Now let me be very clear. When the unexpected source appears, it will require decision, not emotion. You will not feel fireworks. You will feel confirmation, a sense of, "This fits," a calm urgency to commit, a knowing without chaos. That is when flexible obedience matters most. Move when I prompt, not when fear leaves. Fear may still whisper. That does not disqualify the moment. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is movement despite it. This is where many delay themselves. They wait to feel ready. But readiness comes after obedience, not before. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to abandon hesitation. There is a difference. And here is where the gift I place before you becomes crucial. The 7 prophetic keys are designed to sharpen your discernment during moments like this. They help you recognize divine nudges without overthinking. They help you distinguish between impulse and instruction. This is why timing matters. If you wait too long, doubt will talk louder than discernment. So again, I invite you, gently but firmly, to go to the first pinned comment and receive the gift prepared for this season. Not later, not someday, now. Treat the next 7 days as alignment days. 1 key per day, 1 adjustment per day, 1 intentional decision per day. That is how unexpected provision becomes sustained increase. Let me also warn you lovingly. When the unexpected source begins to open, others may not understand it. They may question it. They may downplay it. They may project their fears onto you. Do not argue. Do not defend prematurely. Do not seek validation from those who are not walking your path. Validation comes after fruit. Let the result speak. You are not required to convince anyone. You are required to obey, and obedience will produce evidence. I want you to remember this. What comes easily is not always valuable. What grows steadily becomes strong. I am not giving you a temporary miracle. I am building a sustainable flow. That takes intention. That takes patience. That takes keys, which is why I keep emphasizing them. This next phase of your life will reward those who move wisely, not impulsively. Calmly, not anxiously. Consistently, not dramatically. You are not late. You are being redirected. And redirection is mercy. So watch closely. Pay attention to the small openings. Honor the quiet invitations. Stay faithful in what appears modest, because what begins as unexpected will soon become undeniable. Write "I will move" in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift, and prepare. In the next chapter, I will reveal what you must do today so you do not miss this blessing. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. What you must do today so you do not miss this blessing. Listen carefully because timing is now critical. What I am about to say is not for later. It is not for when things calm down. It is not for a more convenient moment. It is for today. Many blessings are lost not because my children disbelieve, but because they delay. Delay feels harmless. Delay sounds reasonable. Delay disguises itself as wisdom. But delay is often the quiet agreement that allows opportunity to pass without resistance. And I do not want that for you. So hear me clearly. What you must do today is not complicated. It is not overwhelming. It does not require perfection. It requires alignment. The first thing you must do today is decide. Not decide emotionally. Decide spiritually. Decide that this season will not look like the last one. Decide that you will no longer drift through days hoping things change on their own. Decide that when I give instruction, you respond, even if it feels small. Decision creates authority. Indecision invites confusion. You have lived long enough reacting to circumstances. Now I am inviting you to move intentionally. The second thing you must do today is create space. Blessings do not land where there is no room. You have been carrying too much mental noise, too many voices, too many open loops, too many unresolved thoughts. You don't need to solve everything today, but you do need to simplify. Silence unnecessary input. Pause conversations that drain clarity. Reduce distractions that steal focus. Not forever, just for this transition. Space allows discernment to rise, and discernment is how you recognize what belongs to you. The third thing you must do today is receive instruction humbly. This is where pride often hides. Pride says, "I already know this." Pride says, "I've seen things like this before." Pride says, "I'll take what applies and ignore the rest." But humility receives fully before filtering, and humility accelerates growth. That is why I have repeatedly placed a gift before you, not as pressure but as provision. The 7 prophetic keys prepared for you are not random ideas. They are structured alignments for moments like this. Moments when life is shifting but clarity must lead the way. Today you must choose to receive them intentionally, not casually, not distracted, not rushed. Go to the first pinned comment, click it calmly. Receive what is there with expectation. This is not about information overload. It is about daily focus. One key per day, one adjustment at a time. That is how lasting change happens. The fourth thing you must do today is guard your mouth. Words shape atmosphere. You have survived seasons where complaining felt justified, where venting felt necessary, where explaining your struggle felt honest. But now, language must shift. Do not rehearse lack. Do not joke about being broke. Do not speak delay as identity. You don't need to fake positivity. You need to speak alignment. Say less, but say it with intention. Silence is sometimes more powerful than explanation. The fifth thing you must do today is act on the next clear step, not the whole plan. This is important. Many miss blessings because they wait for the full picture. But I rarely give the full picture up front. I give the next step. Clarity grows through movement. Obedience sharpens vision. You do not need to know how everything will work. You only need to know what to do today. And today, your step is alignment. Alignment of thought, alignment of focus, alignment of posture. That is why this moment matters. Let me tell you something you may not realize. Heaven responds more to consistency than intensity. A small, aligned action today carries more weight than a dramatic declaration tomorrow. That is why I designed this season around keys, not pressure. Keys unlock doors gently, but decisively. Now hear this warning, because it is said in love. If you treat this moment casually, nothing bad will happen, but nothing new will either. You will stay safe, but you will stay stuck. And you were not created for stagnation. You were created for movement with purpose. That is why I interrupted you. That is why this message keeps unfolding. That is why instruction keeps repeating in different forms. Repetition is not redundancy. It is emphasis. I am emphasizing this because what is ahead requires readiness, not panic. And readiness is built through daily alignment. Let me speak directly to your heart now. You do not need to chase money anymore. You need to position yourself. Money flows toward clarity. Opportunities flow toward stability. Provision flows toward stewardship. And stewardship begins internally. This is why I care how you think. This is why I care how you decide. This is why I care how you respond to small instructions. Small obedience unlocks large outcomes. Do not underestimate today. Today may look ordinary, but it is pivotal. Years from now, you will look back and realize this was the moment things quietly shifted, not because everything changed instantly, but because you did. You chose focus over fear. You chose alignment over delay. You chose instruction over assumption. That choice matters. So once again, without pressure but with clarity, go to the first pinned comment. Receive the gift prepared for you. Begin the 7-day alignment with intention. Do not skip days. Do not rush steps. Do not compare progress. This is between you and me, and I will meet you in it. What I am about to release will not require force. It will require faithful positioning, and you are capable of that. You have always been capable. You just needed clarity. Write, "I will align today" in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift, and stay present. In the next chapter, I will reveal how a door is about to open that changes your financial direction suddenly, and why it will feel calm, not chaotic. The door that opens suddenly, and why it will feel calm, not chaotic. Listen closely, because this will redefine how you recognize my movement. When most people imagine a breakthrough, they imagine noise, urgency, chaos, a rush that feels overwhelming. But what I am opening for you will feel calm. Not because it is small, but because it is aligned. Sudden does not always mean frantic. Sudden means unresisted. When a door opens without resistance, it does not shake the room, it invites you in. That is the kind of door I am opening for you now. You have lived long enough in environments where pressure felt normal, where stress was mistaken for productivity, where anxiety was accepted as the price of progress. But I tell you now, that was not sustainability. That was survival. What is coming will not demand that you burn yourself out to prove worth. It will not require you to abandon peace to gain provision. It will not push you into panic disguised as opportunity. It will feel steady, clear, appropriate. And that calm will confuse you at first. You may think, shouldn't this feel harder? You may wonder, why does this feel right? That is how you will know it is from me. I do not lead my children through chaos to bless them. I lead them through clarity. Let me explain what is happening. For a long time, you were being trained to recognize noise, urgent demands, loud opinions, external pressure. But now, I am retraining your discernment to recognize peace with momentum. That is a higher level of guidance. The door that opens suddenly will not announce itself dramatically. It will present itself naturally. A conversation that flows, an idea that settles instead of agitates, an opportunity that fits your life instead of hijacking it. You will not need to convince yourself. You will not need to force enthusiasm. You will simply know this aligns, and alignment accelerates without stress. This is why I warned you earlier not to miss today. Because calm doors are easy to overlook when you expect chaos. Many miss divine openings because they are waiting for struggle to validate value. But struggle is not validation. Fruit is. I am not asking you to fight harder. I am asking you to walk wiser. The door I am opening connects directly to what you have been aligning internally. That is not coincidence. Internal order attracts external opportunity. You did not imagine this preparation. You did not waste those quiet adjustments. You did not overthink this moment. You were being positioned. Now hear this carefully. When this door opens, do not rush through it emotionally. Walk through it intentionally. Sudden does not mean reckless. Sudden means timely. Timing does not remove responsibility. It increases it. You will be tempted to overcommit too fast, to say yes to everything, to prove gratitude by excess. Resist that impulse. Stewardship is calm. Move forward but remain grounded. Advance but stay discerning. That is why I have emphasized keys again and again. Keys keep doors open. Excitement opens doors. Wisdom keeps them open. The 7 prophetic keys I placed before you are meant for moments like this. Moments when things shift quickly, but must be sustained wisely. This is not about excitement management. This is about direction management, which is why I continue to guide you to the same place with patience. Go to the first pinned comment. Receive the gift prepared for you. Let it anchor you during movement. This door will not overwhelm you, but it will require maturity. And maturity does not come from age. It comes from alignment. Let me address something important. You may feel tempted to explain this door to people who knew your struggle. You may want validation. You may want acknowledgement. Pause. Not everyone needs to understand what I am doing. Some people can celebrate the fruit but cannot steward the seed. Share selectively. Move quietly. Let consistency speak before explanation. This is how you protect momentum. The door that opens will begin with access, not abundance. Access to new streams, access to new ideas, access to new connections. Abundance grows from access when stewarded well. Do not despise beginnings that look manageable. Manageable is a gift. Manageable allows growth without collapse. You are not being tested with excess. You are being trusted with increase. And trust builds gradually. Let me reassure you of something. You will not miss this door by accident. You will only miss it by distraction. That is why focus matters now more than effort. Stay attentive. Stay aligned, stay responsive. The next few days matter, not because something bad will happen if you fail, but because something good will unfold if you stay present. This is a season where awareness produces advantage. You will notice timing lining up. You will notice resistance decreasing. You will notice ideas connecting. That is the door opening. Do not overanalyze it. Walk one step at a time. And remember this: calm is not the absence of power. Calm is power under control, and control is what allows growth to last. I am not just blessing you with provision. I am blessing you with peaceful progress. That is a higher blessing, because peace allows you to enjoy what you build. Peace allows you to remain grateful without fear of loss. Peace allows you to lead others without exhaustion. This door will not take your life from you, it will support it. That is how you will know it is mine. So stay close, stay intentional, stay aligned. And once again, without pressure but with clarity, go to the first pinned comment. Receive the gift prepared for this season. Let the 7 keys guide your next steps. They will help you walk through this door with wisdom, not impulse. Write, "I walk in peace" in the comments if you receive this word. Then remain present. In the next chapter, I will reveal what must shift in your thinking, so this door does not close prematurely. and how to secure what is opening now. The mental shift required to keep this door open. Listen with attention, because this is where many receive, but few retain. Open doors do not close because I change my mind. They close because thinking does not change with access. I have brought you to the threshold. I have positioned you correctly. I have removed resistance. Now the responsibility shifts inward. What must change is not your effort, it is your agreement. For a long time, you learned how to survive. Survival thinking kept you alert, reactive, and guarded. It helped you endure pressure. But survival thinking cannot steward increase, and this is where the shift must happen. Survival thinking asks, how do I get through this? Stewardship thinking asks, how do I sustain this? One reacts, the other builds. If you carry survival thinking into a season of access, you will rush, hoard, and overextend. You will say yes too quickly. You will fear loss more than you value growth. That is how doors close quietly, not suddenly. So hear me clearly. The shift required now is from urgency to intention. Urgency says everything is temporary. Intention says this is being built. Urgency grabs. Intention guides. Urgency exhausts. Intention stabilizes. You are not meant to scramble in this season. You are meant to structure. Structure does not limit blessing. It preserves it. That is why I have been calming you internally before increasing you externally. Calm is not passivity. Calm is readiness. Now listen carefully to this truth. You do not lose doors by moving slowly. You lose doors by moving without clarity. Clarity is what keeps doors open, and clarity comes from disciplined thinking. This is why I am calling you to daily alignment, not emotional highs. Emotional faith fades. Aligned faith endures. You must shift from asking, "What can I gain?" to asking, "What must I manage well?" This is not about less faith. This is about mature faith. Mature faith understands that increase carries responsibility. Let me show you what must change in your thinking, starting today. First, stop expecting everything to happen at once. When progress begins, impatience tries to rush the process. It says, if this is real, it should accelerate immediately. But acceleration without foundation creates collapse. I am not building a moment. I am building a flow. Flows grow gradually, then steadily. Second, stop interpreting calm as lack of movement. You were trained to recognize struggle as proof. Now you must learn to recognize consistency as proof. Consistency is quieter, but far more powerful. Third, stop negotiating obedience. Partial obedience creates partial results. If I prompt you to adjust, simplify, pause, or commit, do not debate internally. Delayed obedience feels responsible, but it fractures momentum. Move when clarity comes. Fourth, stop revisiting closed chapters. Old fears will try to resurface. Old narratives will whisper, "Remember how this went last time." That voice is not wisdom. It is memory trying to control direction. You are not repeating the past. You are applying lessons from it. There is a difference. Now hear this carefully. The door I opened will remain open as long as your identity stays aligned. If you see yourself as someone who finally got lucky, you will act from fear. If you see yourself as someone being positioned, you will act from confidence. Identity determines behavior. Behavior determines sustainability. That is why this mental shift matters more than opportunity itself. I am not blessing you to prove something. I am blessing you to become something. A steward, a builder, a stabilizer. This requires patience without passivity. Patience waits without withdrawing effort. Patience works without panic. That is the posture you must adopt now. This is also why I have placed a gift before you that emphasizes daily alignment. The 7 prophetic keys are not designed for excitement. They are designed for consistency. 1 key per day, 1 shift at a time, 1 intentional adjustment. That is how doors stay open. Go again to the first pinned comment. Receive the gift prepared for this transition. Use it as guidance, not as information. Let it shape your thinking, not just inspire emotion. Because inspiration fades, Alignment compounds. Let me speak to something else. You may feel pressure to prove that this door is real, to yourself or to others. Resist that urge. Proof will come through fruit, not performance. Do not announce prematurely. Do not overextend to impress. Do not borrow confidence from others' opinions. Quiet consistency builds authority. Authority keeps doors open. And here is a crucial truth you must remember. Doors close prematurely when people try to extract from them instead of build through them. If your focus is only what you can get, the door narrows. If your focus is what you can steward, the door widens. This is a kingdom principle. You are not entering a season of taking, you are entering a season of establishing. And establishment takes discipline. But discipline is not heavy when purpose is clear. Purpose lightens responsibility. That is why I keep clarifying your purpose before increasing provision. Now let me reassure you, you are not expected to do this perfectly. You are expected to do this intentionally. Perfection is not required. Presence is. If you stumble, realign quickly. If you hesitate, refocus gently. Do not dramatize mistakes. Do not magnify setbacks. This season responds to calm correction, not harsh self-judgment. You are learning a new rhythm, and rhythms take time to internalize. This is why the next 7 days matter. They are not about pressure, they are about patterning. Patterns formed now will shape months ahead. That is why I am asking you to commit to alignment daily, not occasionally. Daily alignment compounds faster than occasional intensity. So again, without pressure but with purpose. Go to the first pinned comment. Receive the gift prepared for you. Begin the 7-day alignment with intention. Let it anchor your thinking as this door opens wider. Because the door is open, but what you build through it depends on your posture. I have done my part. I opened what was blocked. I removed what resisted. I aligned what was scattered. Now I invite you to do yours. Think differently. Move intentionally. Speak carefully. Build steadily. This is how doors remain open long after the excitement fades. And when others wonder how you sustained what you entered, you will know the answer. You aligned. Write "I will build wisely" in the comments if you receive this word. Then remain present. In the next chapter, I will reveal the final activation that seals this season and releases visible results. Not someday, but soon. The final activation that seals this season and releases visible results. Listen with reverence, because this is the sealing moment. Everything I have spoken until now has been preparation. Preparation of thought, preparation of posture, preparation of discernment. But preparation alone does not release manifestation. There is a final activation, and it is subtle but powerful. This activation is called agreement. Not agreement with emotion, not agreement with circumstance, but agreement with what I have already declared. Many of my children believe my promises, but they do not agree with them. They hope, they wish, they pray, but internally they still prepare for disappointment, and that inner contradiction delays visible results. So hear me clearly now. What seals this season is when your inner posture stops arguing with my word. Agreement is when your expectations quietly line up with my direction. Not loudly, not performatively, but internally. Agreement says, I will act as if this is real, even before it looks complete. This is where visible movement begins. Because heaven responds to agreement faster than desperation. Desperation begs. Agreement positions. You have begged long enough. Now it is time to position yourself. Let me explain what agreement looks like practically. Agreement looks like planning with calm confidence, not fear. Agreement looks like adjusting habits without resentment. Agreement looks like making room for increase before it arrives. Many wait to see money before they change thinking, but I change thinking before I release money. Because money follows structure. Structure follows agreement. This is why alignment has been emphasized so strongly. Now listen carefully. The visible results you are waiting for will not all arrive at once, but they will arrive consistently. Consistency is the signature of sustainability. Sudden miracles excite. Consistent provision transforms. And transformation is what I am releasing. So what is the final activation? It is this. You stop preparing for lack and start preparing for stewardship. Not extravagance, not recklessness. Stewardship. Stewardship asks different questions. Instead of asking, what if this fails? You begin asking, how do I manage this well? Instead of asking, what if it disappears? You begin asking, how do I make this last? That internal shift sends a signal. It tells heaven, this vessel is ready. And when readiness is recognized, release follows. Now hear me clearly. You do not need to announce this shift to anyone. You do not need to convince others. You do not need external validation. This is an internal agreement between you and me. And it is powerful. This is also why I have continued to guide you toward a daily structure. The 7 prophetic keys are not just guidance, they are agreement tools. They help you align daily without overthinking. They help you stay consistent without pressure. They help you practice agreement through action. Agreement is not a feeling, it is a pattern, and patterns create outcomes. That is why I want you to receive the gift waiting for you in the first pinned comment if you have not already. Do not receive it as content. Receive it as structure. 7 days, 7 keys, 7 alignments. Each day reinforces agreement. Each day quiets doubt. Each day strengthens clarity, and clarity accelerates manifestation. Let me speak to what you will begin to notice soon. You will notice opportunities that fit your life instead of disrupting it. You will notice resources aligning instead of conflicting. You will notice stress decreasing even as responsibility increases. That is confirmation. You will also notice something else. Old anxieties will try to return, briefly, not because the door is closing, but because your mind is adjusting to new ground. Do not panic when that happens. Do not interpret it as failure. It is recalibration. When something new becomes real, the old tries one last time to assert relevance. Let it pass. Do not engage it. Agreement is maintained by non-engagement with fear. You don't fight fear. You outgrow it. And you are doing that now. Another sign you will notice is this. You will become more selective. Not withdrawn. Not isolated. Selective. You will protect your time. You will guard your energy. You will simplify your focus. That is not selfishness. That is stewardship. Stewardship protects momentum. Momentum attracts results. Results confirm alignment. This is the cycle you are entering. Now let me say something very important. Do not rush the testimony. You are not late. You are not behind. But you are also not required to prove speed. What I am building through you is not impressive because it is fast. It is impressive because it lasts. And lasting things grow quietly at first. Trust the process. Trust the alignment. Trust the agreement. This is where many interrupt their own breakthrough by doubting the calm. They expect chaos because chaos feels familiar. But calm is your new environment. Do not reject it. Live from it. Now let me seal this with truth. What you have been asking me to do externally, I have already begun internally. And internal shifts always manifest outwardly. Always. Not because you force them, but because alignment creates momentum naturally. So stay aligned, stay consistent, stay intentional. And when questions arise, return to structure, not speculation. That is why the keys matter. They give you something to return to when emotions fluctuate. They ground you. And grounded people build well. I am not worried about your future. I am guiding it. And what I guide, I sustain. So receive this final activation. Agree with me. Agree with the season change. Agree with the open door. Agree with the responsibility. Agree with the process. Stop rehearsing endings. Start building continuations. This is not the climax. This is the foundation. And foundations determine height. You are building higher than before because you are building wiser. And wisdom attracts provision. Provision follows stewardship. Stewardship flows from agreement. This is complete. Write "I agree with God" in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment, receive the gift, and walk out the next 7 days with intention. Be still. This is the sealing. What has been spoken is not symbolic. What has been aligned is not fragile. What has been activated does not require repetition. This season is now sealed. Not because you felt something dramatic, but because you agreed. Agreement completes what preparation began. And now, listen carefully, because this is where many misunderstand how my work unfolds. The sealing of a season does not always announce itself with noise. It announces itself with stability. You may not wake up tomorrow with fireworks. You may not see instant overflow. But you will notice something unmistakable. You will feel rooted instead of restless. That is the sign. Restlessness belongs to transition. Rootedness belongs to arrival. And you have arrived, not at the finish line but at solid ground. From this ground, growth is inevitable. Let me tell you what this sealing does. It closes the door behind you. Not the door of memory, but the door of return. You will no longer be able to go back to thinking small without discomfort. You will no longer be able to tolerate stagnation without tension. You will no longer be able to ignore alignment without conviction. That is how you will know the season has changed. Old habits will feel heavy. Old excuses will feel hollow. Old fears will feel out of place. Not because you are forcing growth, but because growth has already occurred. This sealing also does something else. It activates visibility, not attention. Visibility. What was hidden begins to be noticed. What was overlooked begins to be recognized. What was dormant begins to be useful. Visibility does not mean exposure. It means recognition by the right people at the right time. You will find that doors open with fewer explanations, that conversations progress without resistance, that opportunities align instead of collide. This is not luck. This is authorization made visible. Now hear me clearly, because this next instruction is vital. Do not rush the harvest. Harvest comes in stages. First comes stabilization. Then comes consistency. Then comes expansion. If you try to expand before stabilizing, you will strain what is meant to grow naturally. So move steadily. Let peace confirm your steps. Let clarity pace your decisions. Speed is not your goal. Sustainability is. This is why I have anchored this entire message around keys, not pressure. Keys empower you to move at the right pace. And once again, I remind you, not as repetition, but as reinforcement. The gift placed in the first pinned comment is not an add-on. It is part of the sealing. Those 7 prophetic keys are designed to anchor this activation into daily life. Without daily alignment, spiritual moments fade into memory. With daily alignment, spiritual moments turn into outcomes. Do not treat the next 7 days casually. They are not random days. They are alignment days. Each day something internal will lock into place. Each day clarity will sharpen. Each day resistance will weaken, not dramatically, but permanently. That is how real transformation works. Now let me speak directly to the fear you didn't say out loud. You are wondering, what if I fail again? And I answer you plainly. You are not starting from the same place anymore. Failure before came from confusion. Now you have clarity. Failure before came from isolation. Now you have alignment. Failure before came from impulse. Now you have structure. You are not repeating a cycle. You are closing one. That matters. And let me say this with authority. You will not miss what is meant for you by being sincere. You only miss by being passive. And you are not passive anymore. Your presence here proves that. Now hear this blessing, because it is not poetic. It is prophetic. In the coming days, you will notice financial pressure easing without panic, decisions becoming simpler, not harder, opportunities aligning with your capacity, peace increasing alongside responsibility. That combination is rare. And it is intentional, because I am not just increasing provision, I am increasing competence. Competence builds confidence. Confidence stabilizes progress. Progress produces testimony, and testimony glorifies me. This is not about showing others what you have. It is about showing others what alignment produces. Some will ask how it changed. Others will notice without asking. You do not need to convince anyone. Live it. Let fruit speak. Let consistency answer questions. Now listen carefully to this final instruction. Do not measure this season by comparison. Comparison is the fastest way to distort gratitude. Your assignment is unique. Your pace is intentional. Your growth is tailored. What looks small to others may be foundational for you. What looks slow to others may be sustainable for you. Do not rush to look impressive. Build something that lasts. That is wisdom. And wisdom attracts increase without stress. I want you to remember this sentence. Carry it with you. Calm progress is still progress. Repeat it when impatience whispers. Repeat it when comparison tempts. Repeat it when fear tries to hurry you. Calm progress compounds. Now let me seal this with peace. You do not need another sign. You do not need another confirmation. You do not need to search endlessly. You are already aligned. Your responsibility now is simple. Stay intentional. Stay consistent. Stay teachable. That is all. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be present. Presence keeps alignment alive. Alignment keeps doors open. Doors open lead to provision. Provision stewarded well becomes legacy. This is the trajectory you are on. And it began the moment you stopped scrolling and listened. So now I release you into this season. Not anxious, not rushed, not pressured, but anchored. Anchored in clarity. Anchored in agreement. Anchored in peace. Before you go, seal this moment. Write "It is sealed" in the comments if you receive this word. Then go to the first pinned comment. Receive the gift prepared for you, and walk through the next 7 days with intention. If this message touched your heart, do not keep it to yourself. Share it so others can align as well, and remain close. What has begun will continue. What has opened will remain. What has been signed will manifest. I am with you, and this season will speak for itself.